Thank you so much for staying with us. It's yet another beautiful Tuesday right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And it's time for us to see what we have on the covers of the dailies. And with me here, I have Mr. Mike Masikena.
Yep.
What do you do?
I do.
Okay, so I'll be starting this morning with the Daily Trust. And for the major headlines here, we have pressure mounts on federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. Only one option available after political agreements. Yadudu. We have that on page 4. To the top left of that, below the masthead, we have NPC proposes November 2024 for national census. To the right of that, we have Sultan and SCIA cautions political leaders against Muslim traditional rulers. To the right of that, we have, again, bandits kill 1, abduct 22 in Katsina. On the strip below the infographics there, we have federal government plans waiver on rice, wheat, and others. Mike, what do you have to say about this rice situation?
That one, yeah. So there's been talk about the waiver on the taxes, if that would help food production and all of that. But it seems as though the food problem is more localized than such, internal, than this. I mean, you're talking about the farmers who are talking about paying levies and dues to bandits.
Yes.
And then you're talking about transportation.
Yes.
The cost of transportation, the ease of transportation. I always make reference to a particular video I saw where this man had over 20 pieces of papers. He was transporting food from, I think it was from Benue State, down to the south. I don't know if it was southwest or south-south. And he said he had to pay over 25 different levies.
Levies, yes.
The food is cheap where he is, but by the time he put on cost of transportation, all these unwarranted levies and everything, it's the end consumer that gets to suffer for all of this. So if you reduce the import waiver, as it were, which of course has, I'm not saying this is of non-effect, but I'm saying the effect is going to be felt when with transportation, that's where the problem would come or would arise with most of all these honest of these levies that they pay.
Yes, I think in my opinion, right, on this particular topic, I'm saying, despite the fact that it's good to pay your levies and all of that is when necessary. However, some of them might literally, as you say, definitely will affect negatively. And I feel we're at a point where we honestly need to move food supply aggressively across the nation. So if those levies need to lift for a period of time in order to get food supply to where it needs to, considering the fact that literally there's literally an ongoing research that literally is speculating that by 2030 there'll be no food in Nigeria. I mean, I think it's quite crazy.
You see, most of these levies are illegal.
Yes.
That is the major thing. In one local government, you have to pay how many it is in that local government. Go to the next local government, you pay the same things. Why? Because of that local government is somebody else that needs the money from there. Illegal.
All right. So let's see what we have on the punch. You have a punch?
Quite illegal, yeah. It's the same thing. But basically the same headline, which is why I was spending time talking about it. The FG suspends food imports duty and partner states on farming.
Yes.
If that partnership is going to help reduce those things, which is most of them, like we mentioned, the levies or by bandits, as it were, then that's something. The annotation underneath that headline goes on to say, government launches 5 months duty-free import window for maize, rice, wheat, and others. FG to partner governors and military to cultivate arable lands, support smallholder farmers. That should be a I mean, it can't be overemphasized, the support for the farming system. It's one profession that I think, if it's available to me, I would try my best. I would want to farm.
Of course.
Because I grew up, I know a number of people made a jest of when the First Lady was planting some crops in her garden. I know a number of people made the jest of it, and well, that's them, yeah. But from personal experience, growing up, we grew a lot of what we ate.
Even till now.
So I know, so you might have felt it was a just water leaf. We never bought water leaf outside, and we used a lot of it.
Bitter leaf, sense leaf, even till now.
You understand? From fruits and everything. We had the farm. We used to even plant yam, and it was not for commercial purposes. It was for us.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that it is, even in the biggest and the most developed nations, the richest people, it's not a thing of poor people thing. No.
No, definitely not. And I'm even saying, I mean, to even say I will go into it is even far, like, I mean, it's futuristic. Because right now, I'm actually even thinking of buying some pots, even if it's just to start growing herbs, right? I mean, we have
just
herbs like
around the
thyme,
house
curry,
and all of that.
yeah, of course. And also have benefits.
Now, when I pack
health
up for this
benefits, having those greens around you. It's
Yeah.
really, really important. And vegetables in the markets are crazy. Anyways, let's look at the Vanguard. On the Vanguard, the same thing. This actually definitely emphasizes how important food supply is in any country whatsoever. Federal government opts for duty-free imports of rice, beans, wheat, other grains. And
Another thing,
course,
yeah, they mentioned imports. Another thing also is thinking about it, but the fact that we're importing these things, the ones that are produced locally.
that's the situation of imports now. Not too long ago, we had a ban on importation. So now they're reversing all of that, and then so what really is going on? So is it that so certain things need to be planned. So it's what I was talking about, how planning is very important. Like literally just taking action and then realizing the effects doesn't necessarily help a lot of things. Anyways, at the top of that, to the left, we have 72 hours after abduction. Fate of Kaduna journalist remains unknown. That's a really sad one there. And as, of course, to the top there, we have banks borrowing from CBN skyrockets by 458% to 57.5 trillion naira. We have Zenith Bank wins best commercial bank in Nigeria. UBA GMD appointed chairman body of bank CEO. Of course, back to the food situation, it will impact on inflation. NASEMA, a step in the right direction. CPPE Farmers Action Aid boss reacts. End of the road for 9 billionaire kidnappers in Nigeria. I'll say that is something positive in the security situation.
We had an Nollywood actor and a Nollywood producer a part of people that were caught amongst those 9.
Yeah.
So the report goes.
Wow. And imagine an industry that's literally, that has a lot of youth inflowing and outflowing and aspiring to. It's really sad in that situation. But anyways, Scarcity, NNPCL blames logistics flooding as petrol queues grow longer. All right, and on that situation, I mean, I think it's interesting that this statement actually comes out for the NNPCL to actually come and say, okay, all the scare of price hike is not necessarily what it really is, that people should literally stop panic buying. But then again, I guess people are just trying to look out for themselves. And that's all we'll be taking on the National Dailies for today. Thank you for staying with us. We still have so much more coming right up here.